Listen, man, you have a right to feel however you want to feel. You have a right to have your opinion. You have that right, bro. Don't let nobody else tell you otherwise. I just feel like I needed to say that because some people be afraid to speak up and voice their theories about what they think about what's going on. Nah, speak on it. Don't worry about what nobody else thinks about it. All right? So before we get to the craziness, listen. It's okay to question everything. You should. And remember, these videos are for entertainment purposes only. Let's get to it.
They are lying to us all. Ask yourself one question. How can houses literally on the water burn down?
I'm also kind of wondering, I know this kind of goes down another different rabbit hole, but I've heard in the past that they weren't going to allow construction there anymore, and now that these homes are gone, are they never coming back? It's just more questions than answers right now. But you can see how they're total destruction.
They are lying to us all.
Now, I get what he's saying. He kind of said it in a weird way to where all of us will respond because they got flammable things inside of it. That's how they burn. But I get what he's saying. You know what I mean? Like, we all had that question. The water's right, the ocean's right there. Like, what is going on? We all had that. Like, is anybody else seeing that all that water right there?
Is it? Because didn't I tell y'all that? Didn't I tell y'all there will be an accidental explosion? Accidental fire? And the next thing you know, celebrities' homes would be on fire. Things would be on fire. I pray for the people in its path, but I also pray that it exposes the things that it needs to expose.
Watch for those fires. Explosions make fires too. Explosions make accidental fires too. And then, oops, we don't know how that happened. And then you look into it and you see that it's tied to something that's tied to something that's tied to something that's tied to trafficking. And then you realize, oh, it wasn't just an explosion or a fire. It wasn't an accident.
So y'all know how people on the internet be talking about, oh, people switch timelines and all that stuff, right? So above my refrigerator the other day, well, I noticed it the other day, but then yesterday I pointed out to my husband because I was telling him, hey, there's a paint mark above our refrigerator. I was like, but I don't remember that there. And he was like, I don't remember that there either. And I was like, you the one that painted this in the kitchen, you know, you must have been the one that accidentally marked it. And he was like, maybe I did, I don't know. So I was like, well, you know what they say, we've been jumping timelines. I said, in another timeline, that mark was there, wasn't there. And then we jumped to another one and now that mark is there. So I was just looking through my photos to make sure that I'm not crazy and find an old video where I was in my kitchen where the mark wasn't there. Tell me why. The paint mark is gone. It was literally right above where that Yoo-hoo milk is, like right up there. And the reason why I was looking through my videos is so I could make sure that I wasn't tripping. And then also wanted to I looked at an older video in which I saw from before I noticed it. I did have a video where it was not there. I just had a TikTok a few weeks ago where I was making a taco for my son. On that video, this mark wasn't there. Just 3 days ago, that mark was there. It was there yesterday because that's when I pointed it out to my husband. And then today, just now, I noticed it was not there. And I know overnight, my husband ain't painted or nothing. So I know he ain't did nothing because we don't have no white paint. So the mark just disappeared. So y'all know.
Nah, she not tripping, bro. And I don't call them like jumping timelines. I be just saying that's a glitch in the matrix. Something happened, it's a glitch in the matrix. Like, you ever notice, I used to think it all the time when like you just do something or you be doing something all day long and then later on the day you notice you got like maybe a scratch or a cut on your hand or something somewhere. You're like, I didn't hit my hand today. I didn't even do anything that would cause a cut or anything. But you got this breaking skin and you're like, and it's peeling. You're like, where did that come from? The most recent one, I have a scratch right now on my side. Had me looking at Queen like, did she scratch me when I was asleep? But I was like, how did that get there? I haven't brushed up against nothing. I had nothing. But you just see like little scratches on your body now. I know y'all may say That could be something paranormal inside my house, and I thought about that too. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but I call them glitches in the matrix, or when things happen and you see something, you be like, that wasn't there before. I know that wasn't there before.
Does anybody else have just like a weird feeling about these fires in California? Like something just not sitting right in your soul? Like, you can call it my like conspiracy theorist spidey senses going off. And like, I genuinely feel bad for the innocent people that are like losing their houses, and I think a couple people died, and like genuinely I really feel bad for y'all. Yeah, I'm eating Cheetos, don't mind my orange fingers. Stay on task here, okay? But like, is anyone else's senses going off? Is it just like not sitting right with them? Like, I don't even have a theory. I don't even have a theory about what I think it could be or what it means. Just something about the fact that Hollywood is on fire right now, not quite sitting with me. Cat Williams opened up a can of worms with some first Diddy, now this. I know I can't be the only one. Let me know what you think.
No, you're not the only one. And I think the crazy thing about all of this is we were just talking about fog. We were talking about drones. We were talking about burglary. All of that stuff has been set to the side, rightfully so, when lives are in danger. I totally agree about that. But it's still a part of me that is like, man, we're not even discussing. We're not even talking about it. We're not even thinking about it. Like, people who were sweating bullets during that time when we was really covering that stuff heavy can breathe a sigh of relief for right now. And they can kind of get their story straight, get things in order. That way, when we do shift our focus back, to which I never shifted completely. Don't get me wrong, these fires are at the top of the list, but I still check in on the Dior bags and the fog and the flu and the viruses, all of that type of stuff. Because I feel like they're scrambling in the background right now and trying to get their stories together. That way, when the world shifts back this way, they'll be ready.
So no one else is concerned about this mystery illness that's going around that leaves you with something that's similar to sinusitis or hay fever, and the doctors can't prescribe anything to you but Mucinex, and it shows you, it gives you all of the symptoms that would be for sinusitis or hay fever, but the doctors can't pinpoint it as that because it doesn't have the same severity. And when you go there, again, Mucinex, Sudafed, etc., that's all they can give you. And I'm pregnant, so there's like limited things that I can do. So all I had to do was create my own freaking cough syrup from scratch with garlic, onion, ginger, turmeric, and honey. And me and my coworker got it simultaneously. I don't talk to this coworker. I'm never around this coworker. They're on the completely other side of the building. Then more coworkers started to get it. Then my mom got it. Then my hubby got it. Then my baby got it. Then my sister got it. Then my friends upstate got it. Then my friends in New York got it. And I don't know about y'all, but the last time the CVs happened, this same exact thing happened. Before it was announced that we had a shutdown, everybody was sick. And it was just so happened after Mr. Man won. I'm telling y'all right now, something ain't right. And I have not had any allergies since my first baby. My allergies completely went away. Having a baby changes your body. But when I tell you that I was down for the count for a little while, it's lasting right now about 2 weeks. I sound much better. I feel much better. But if you follow me on Instagram, you know that like I was like my throat, everything. I'm like, y'all, I feel crazy. What didn't make sense to me is how fast it traveled and how people were able to explain things to me prior to me even telling them what I was going through. And then when it presented in my baby, she had a whole different situation going on. But I called the doctor and she's like, yeah, that seems to be going around. It can last anywhere between 2 to 3 weeks. This is what you should do. Get the Zarabees honey. Make sure you have the humidifier on. Make sure it's a cool humidifier. And I tell you, cool air will help you breathe, help you feel better. There is no steam humidifier that you're going to want during this time. And like I said, I made my cough syrup from scratch because I'm pregnant, but Sudafed and Mucinex seem to have worked to thin out the mucus because it's just so much mucus and it's just so much congestion. And listen, y'all, I used to be a CNA, but this is not medical advice whatsoever. I'm just telling you guys what I experienced and how scary it was. So yeah, stay safe, y'all. RSV is going around, flu's going around. Oh my God, everything that you could, flu A and B, it's like there's so many things going on right now. Just be so careful, especially the ones with kitties. So no one else is.
And that's what I've been seeing up and down the timeline, even with y'all, from y'all in the comment section, bro, about responding about what y'all are feeling, how you're feeling, what type of sickness you've been going through and different things like that, what you've experienced, how everybody, either in your family, your immediate family, or the ones surrounding you that are sick, and you're not understanding what this is. You know, the normal flu season is here and it's cold and different things like that, but it just feels different. You know what I mean? Some people gonna say, well, we say that every year. Maybe, but I don't know. This one don't feel right. Maybe you're right. Maybe we do say it every year, but this one here just seems a little different. You know what I'm saying? Both of my kids got it. My oldest one just got over it. My youngest one, he's got it again. He kind of fought it off, but he has it again. So it's like, what is going on, man? I don't know. So I be trying to keep my ears, you know what I mean? And my eyes open to see what everybody's saying, talking about, and what they're experiencing and what's working for them, what's helping, and all of this type of stuff like that, bro. I'm serious, man. Pay attention.
So NASA just came out and confirmed that there is indeed a parallel universe in Antarctica, y'all. This is crazy. So they had this balloon, right, to test for particles and stuff like that in Antarctica. Now, during this process, they noticed something that was very strange, and they said that they noticed these molecules that instead of falling were levitating. I literally have chills, y'all. I knew this was a thing. So basically, they said that they believe that this means that there is a parallel universe somewhere near or on the island, Antarctica, okay? And this parallel universe literally defies the laws of physics, literally defies gravity. Okay, so basically instead of a rock falling down, the rock is going to be going up. So, you know what I'm saying? When you drop something, it's going to go, it doesn't drop, it goes up. Y'all, this gives me very, 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 very strange vibes. The fact that they just came out and said that aliens are real, and now they're saying that there's a parallel universe. The U.S. government is just confirming what everybody already knew.
I'm no stranger to people who don't know what they're talking about, trying to silence women like me.
Since he started posting about you, are you having to go about your daily life differently at all?
Yes, my daily life is currently different. I won't go into the details of that, but yes, it is. Being in the spotlight like this, and the intimation of what Elon Musk is, the disinformation, as I believe the Prime Minister referred to it as, has put out about me, it's endangering.
Yo, we're in some strange times. So, hold on. So today, this is my sky, right? Everywhere you look. And it's been that way for the last 2 days. But before it was all blue skies, whatever. Get out. Today is raining, so I set out a cup to collect some rainwater. Look what I collected. This is not rain. What is that? Need to get that tested because it's raining on us. Look at this. I kid you not. I had this cup sitting right here, just collecting water. So what I'm going to do to prove it, I'm going to dump this water and then let it, because it's raining still, and start again. So I dumped it out and let it fill again. And this is what's raining on us, folks. This is what's raining down on us, on our gardens, on our food, if it's on your skin, or you in the rain. I saw a cartoon or what the AI thing here on TikTok saying to go out and play in the rain. Don't you do it. It helps to clear your spirits and all of this stuff to go out and play in the rain. It was an AI thing. And let me tell you something. Do not play in the rain. Cover yourself, cover your skin. Don't let it get on you. Look at that. This is what's in the rain. We are definitely under attack. Stay dangerous, y'all, but not this dangerous.
Man, that just made me think back to I was a kid that loved to be outside. So I played in the rain. If it just started raining, hold your mouth open, your tongue out, get some of the rainwater and stuff like that. I mean, ain't nothing grew out my neck yet, or I don't got an extra, you know what I mean, limb or nothing like that. So I think I'll be all right, you know what I mean? But these days, I definitely understand these days with the things they could be doing, chemtrails, all this type of stuff like that we've seen actual news videos, articles, different things, interviews with them talking about things being injected into the clouds to form a specific type of rain and stuff like that. Yeah. Like, yeah. Yeah, these days, no way. We need to go outside like this. Straight up. Right, you know, matter of fact, you might not even want to let it like touch your skin these days. I wouldn't put it past what we're in when it's raining, or what's dropping from the clouds. We have no clue nowadays.
Silly gooses, I fear that we've lost the plot a little bit. Everything you're doing on your phone and looking things up on AI is not little itty bitty. It definitely impacts the environment, and I'm going to explain how. Do you remember when your computers looked like this? This part of the computer right here is what actually made your computer work. It is what stored all of your documents and connected you to the internet and allowed you to play games. And if you recall, this used to heat up. We didn't just shrink the size of technology. Yes, things are smaller now, but in general, that giant server still exists. It's just not at your house. It's in these things, they're called servers, and they are in big data warehouses. So if you live in Northern Virginia, you would know that these exist everywhere. They are hard to maintain. They get hot, just like your phone gets hot in the sun, just like those computers used to get hot when you used to have too many tabs open. They actually take so much to maintain. They take a ton of electricity. They take a ton of air conditioning. They take water. They are very hard to maintain. And the more you do, the hotter everything is getting. Now, the major point that I feel like people aren't understanding, and I saw this in a video, is that when you use AI, you're actually using 10x the amount of energy you would use if you just Google search something. Because AI is computing a lot more and pulling more data sets together. And now everything you are doing has an AI component. This has just become a big boom thing where a lot of companies are adding AIs to their website, to their app.
So she's basically saying that everything we're using is adding to global warming, basically infecting the environment, but yet they keep saying it's just us. Instead, it's the progression of technology that's also causing this. That's an interesting theory. But yet they keep blaming us.
Their applications that weren't there before. So every part of your digital footprint is actually impacting the environment. If you have any questions or want to know more, please leave that in the comment below. I just thought that this was something that most people knew, and I learned recently that it's a little known fact.
What if I told you that the television originally was designed to communicate with spirits? Right, what if I told you that the original inventor of the television admitted this? You want to talk about it? Well, you know how this goes. Hey, yo, peace. This is your man, L. Jones, coming right back at you with some of that real talk real fast, man, hopefully. Hey, man, yeah, what I just said, man. I want you to look up the words Instrumental Trans Communications, ITC. You can look that up. You could just say ITC, but Instrumental Trans Communications. This is a phenomenon that occurs when people use electrical devices to communicate with spirits. Electrical devices such as radios, tape recorders, film recorders, and computers as well. The guy who invented the doggone radio or the television, that's exactly what he was trying to do. Peep game. What does a television have? What does that knob do on the television? It turns to different channels. What? Channeling spirits. Is the television not used to mediate, like the media? To mediate, to intervene between the spirit of man and the spirit, between man and the spirits and the invisible spirits, and making them visible? This is what they said. They said that the television had static on it, and they said that they were able to channel spirits, and the spirit could form itself within the static.
And here we go. When we were younger, used to bang on the TV to try to get the static to stop so we can get the screen to clear again. Who else used to bang on the TV? Oh, we got static, or the bunny ears that my grandma had, and you got to get it right. Maybe that was somebody trying to communicate. I don't know, but we was banging the heck out of them, bro. So they never got through to us. They never got through to us, bro. Like, I remember banging the heck out of some TVs, man.
And you could hear the spirit speak, and the spirit can hear you. And anyone who knows anything about basic electronics, you know that inside of a doggone microphone is a speaker. Right. So they were using that thing to talk to people first. Now here's what I'm saying. I believe they got this technology. The guy was trying to mimic something that he heard of or that he read about. Or maybe a spirit came to him, told him to invent this. Something that once existed in Tartaria. Now in Tartaria, they had a device, and it was a channeling device as well. This device, but theirs was like way more advanced. They had a device that could show you the person in 3D. Not quite like this here. You could still see through them a little bit, but nevertheless, you could see the whole person and the clothes that they were wearing. They had a device that it was set up like this here, or whatever size, and they had different types of them, but you could literally walk all the way around it and see the person. You could communicate with them. Now, this is me. I believe they had some sort of, I believe that device had the ability to compress the air, and it was shaped in the form of whoever that person was in the spirit world. And they were able to see that person and communicate with them. But why was that important? I'm gonna say two things. One, I'm sure of this, they may have missed their loved ones, and they wanted to still be able to communicate with them. But two, is that they used them to get information, something like how we use AI. Hear me out. When you are unalived and you go on to the different realm, you shed away from this physical body. You see, the physical body, it blocks some of your information. You're not able to access all the information that you truly hold. But once you shed the physical, you now have access to all the information in existence. They were able to talk to them and get information about anything they wanted. But back then, there used to be a time when people were more honorable. I could see people misusing a device like that, so they got rid of it. But the guy who invented the television, it was in him to try to bring that thing back. And he did it to his best ability. And you've seen the movies like Poltergeist. Hell, you may have even experienced certain things. I've heard stories about people playing video games, and the video game trips out on them.
Man, I know back in the day when I was younger, we would have like the radios in the house, and sometimes the radios could tap into other things. I never knew what that was, but every time they tried to tell us, oh, that's just maybe somebody with a walkie-talkie, is what they would tell us. Maybe that's somebody with a walkie-talkie. You just tapped into their frequency. I always was like, y'all better be sure that Because we keep tapping into certain things sometimes, man, just randomly out the blue. And I ain't never seen nobody with no walkie-talkies where we lived at, near us. So I don't know. It could be nothing. But this is why we can't get rid of this app. Where can you have these kind of conversations at like this, bro? TikTok has to stay.
Mountain Gate community. And look at this. This is interesting.
It's like you feel like you're in a whole different country, or certainly a different community. But this is somewhat near where Liz is reporting. It's coming out of Brentwood. Hundreds of goats they were seen evacuating the community of Mountain Gate as the wildfire started pushing closer to the community, and you can hear someone herding the goats. And I'm not sure if they're on someone's ranch in Brentwood, or if they.
We don't have any info on exactly why the goats were there, but, in a lot of hillside communities, there have been, people have been using goats for fire mitigation, to actually deal with brush. So it is not unheard of that in any community in Southern California, any hillside community with a wildland interface, you might see a herd of goats on a hillside eating up the brush and clearing the brush that way. So that may be the reason for the goats. We don't know about any other reason why there would be goats in Brentwood.
Well, look, it's not just the destruction that people are dealing with. The people of Los Angeles still have to fight through the smoke that has clouded the area. So what's the best way to stay safe? Joining us now is Dr. Bayou Curry-Winchell, a family physician and health advocate. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us. I don't know if you were listening, I was talking to Matt Rivers about me living there in Los Angeles for a couple of years. I mean, the air quality out west was already pretty hairy, right? But I want to talk about smoke inhalation. Can you explain some of the health risks when inhaling smoke from these fires, especially for those with underlying conditions? I mean, this really just kind of compounds it all.
Correct. When we think about smoke inhalation, often we're thinking, oh, it's not a big deal, but it actually is. It can cause really big issues, especially if you have any underlying health conditions such as asthma or COPD. So you really need to think about what ways you could protect yourself. How can you do that? Wearing a mask is essential, because even if you're just going outside for a short period of time, that can really impact your overall health.
There's so many pollutants as well to think about, Doctor, like your plastic and wood from these fires. I mean, that's going to be lying all over the Southern California region. What are some risks of prolonged exposure from inhaling just the residue of these pollutants?
Well, when you think of the materials that are used to build a home, they are not meant to be inhaled. And so those pollutants, toxins, as you mentioned, can be really irritating to the lungs. The other thing we have to think about is the long-term exposure. That can cause health conditions, not just in the immediate, but also in the long term.
Absolutely. So much to think about, and that's important to think about in terms of masking as well. Doctor, I do want to point that out. Thank you so much for joining us and all that you're doing to inform us. You can learn more from Dr. Bayou on her website, drbayou.com. Oh, look, it's not.
That's why I said before, man, when I was talking to y'all about it before, that's why I was saying when I was a firefighter, we wear those air tanks, masks, and you have a device on your mask to where you can breathe the air in from the tank that's on your back. You do not want to breathe that stuff in, man. Think about all the paints, all the lead-based paints, all the different things that are in the chemicals that are in the furnitures, the plastics, the all kind of different things that people have inside their homes. And you've been to people's houses, they have everything in them, all kind of different things. That stuff catches on fire, it emits a smoke that you do not want to breathe in, bro. So when I see people out there and they're not thinking because the devastation and they just want to go see their home or everything, you're not thinking about what you're inhaling in your smell. Like even when what we would call overhaul, after the fire is pretty much put out and we're going back in there and we're overhauling, meaning we're moving stuff to make sure it's not smoldering nowhere, and you're putting it out, you're extinguishing stuff. You still want to breathe the air that's in that tank on your back because you don't want to breathe that stuff in, bro. That stuff will affect you. It ain't if, it will affect you. You know what I'm saying? So this is the stuff that we were taught that we didn't need to breathe. Now, yes, firefighters are hard-headed. You see them standing around, take their mask off. Normally, you'll see a supervisor or somebody above them, say, hey man, put your mask on, put your tank back on. What are you doing? Yell that to them from afar or something like that. Or you don't take it off until you get to a certain point. So yeah, bro, like they need to, man, because the stuff that they breathing in, these chemicals and that toxic stuff is not good. Not good at all.
Yeah, a little flare up here, but really, I got to tell you, we went down to Van Nuys for a quick refuel, came back, and the progress in the last, 20 minutes or so is nothing less than jaw-dropping. I mean, the difference of the profile of this fire is astonishing. It is truly heroic work that has taken place in the last couple of hours as these firefighters and these pilots have continued to pound this fire into submission, and it is literally stopped in its tracks. Both the north flank and the east flank are not only stopped, but the east flank on the Mandeville Canyon side is virtually non-existent. Now, it's hard to see the little flames that are left because it's so smoky. There is a thick layer of black and gray smoke blanketing the entire west side of LA, but there is a little flame on the Mandeville Canyon side, but very little to speak of. On the north side, this is what it looks like. It's a straight line right above the hills of Encino that have been stopped. They've been stationary for several hours now. They have come to a complete halt right where those fire crews drew those lines. They painted a box throughout the day, and this fire is holding. Any small embers that happen to flow over, they quickly tackle those, and they put this fire to bed. This has been one of the most heroic efforts you have seen in history. And I've got to tell you, it's such a shame, because had they been able to do their job 2 nights ago, or 3 nights ago, we would be having a much different conversation. But unfortunately, that has not been the case with Mother Nature. She has been unpredictable. This has been a dynamic fire. But the scare in the air tonight is calming down and really fizzling out here in the San Fernando Valley and in the Sepulveda Pass, guys.
Wow. Well, Mother Nature didn't allow the kind of attack that we have seen tonight. And yes, if you are in the Mandeville Canyon area, if you were in Encino, if you were in Tarzana, and you were worried, you can breathe a sigh of relief right now. The mandatory evacuation orders are still in effect because they have to take every precaution necessary, but it is certainly looking a lot better than when those orders were first issued.
Yeah, a little flare up here, but really, I got to...
Finally, some good news. It seems like we haven't had any good news since this thing has started. So to hear that just helps you breathe a sigh of relief that some efforts and things that they're doing, coordinated efforts that they've planned out, are working. Finally, bro, we needed some good news, man. So I'm glad for everyone out there in Encino and different areas over in that area to be able to receive some good news like that, man. I know that's got to be a sigh of relief for them. But we ain't out of it yet, so we just got to keep monitoring what they're doing, man. But news is out there working, man. Salute to them.